Today we're going to learn about how to solve a limiting reactant equation. So let's take a look at an example. What is the limiting reactant when 3.50 grams of magnesium chloride is reacted with 4.00 grams of silver nitrate? So first, we're going to have to make this equation. So let's take 3.50 grams of magnesium chloride and let's react that with 4.00 grams of silver nitrate. Now, we can determine that this is a double replacement reaction. So in order to find the products, we're going to have to switch the elements on the reactant side. So magnesium will switch with silver to become magnesium nitrate. Silver will switch to magnesium to become silver chloride. So let's take a look at the products. So after we do the double replacement reaction, we get silver chloride plus magnesium nitrate. Now, we have our equation for this problem, but we're going to have to balance it in order to do the limiting reactant. So, as you can see, I already balanced it, but let me show you how I did that. So let's take a look at a chart to help us balance this equation. So this chart tells us how many elements are on each side before I balance it. So on the left and right, there's one element of magnesium, two on the left of chloride, one on the right of chloride, so that has to be balanced. One on the left and right for silver, and one on the left of nitrate, and two on the right of nitrate. So in order for it to be balanced, it has to have the same amount of elements on each side. So here, I balance the chlorides first. So I put a 2 here. So when I put a 2 up here in the equation on the product side, I got 2 silvers and 2 chlorides. 2 chlorides. So now there's the same amount of chlorides on each side, but the amount of silvers changes on the right side. So now, in order to balance it, I have to put a 2 in front of the silver here, like I did here, to balance both silver and chloride. But when I did that, now there's 2 nitrates, but on the right side there was already 2 nitrates, so I don't have to worry about that. So now, as you can see, there's the same amount of elements on each side, so now it is balanced. So now let's start the limiting reactant part of this problem. So let's first start with magnesium chloride. Here's magnesium chloride. So let's take the 3.50 grams of magnesium chloride from the original part of the equation, and let's multiply it by 1 mole of magnesium chloride over the molar mass of magnesium chloride, which is 95.21 grams of magnesium chloride. Now how I knew how to do that was, whenever you do dimensional analysis, the same unit has to be on the top and diagonal part to the bottom of what you're multiplying. So here's the same unit, so that means it's good. Okay, so after that, I have to find the moles of silver chloride part of the equation. So next, I have to multiply 2 moles of silver chloride over 1 mole of magnesium chloride. So once I do that, there's the same unit on top and the bottom, and now I'm able to find the amount of moles of silver chloride. So now I can just put this in my calculator by multiplying 3.50 grams of magnesium chloride and times 2 moles of silver chloride and divide that by 95.21. Once I do that, I see that I get 0.0735 moles of silver chloride as my answer. So now the magnesium chloride part of this equation is done. So let's see the silver nitrate of how to find limiting reactant. So now we take silver nitrate. Now, let's take the 4.00 grams of silver nitrate and do the same thing we did with the magnesium chloride. So we have to multiply it by 1 mole of silver nitrate over the molar mass. Now in this case, the molar mass is 169.91 grams of silver nitrate. Here's the same unit, so that means it's good. Now we have to have the same unit moles of silver nitrate on the bottom of the next part. So here we have the same unit here, but now we change it to 2 moles because in the original equation, when we balanced it in the original, we have 2 moles here, so we have to convert it to 2 moles here. And for the product, we have 2 moles up here. So that's why there's 2 on both sides. So now we can do the same things we did and put in our calculator, and we can solve for the moles of silver chloride. So once we do that, we get 0.0235 grams of silver chloride. Now, to determine the limiting reactant, we have to determine which value is the least. So out of the 2 products we got for silver chloride, this one is the least. So that means that AgNO3, also known as silver nitrate, is the limiting reactant because it is least. So here we see silver nitrate is the limiting reactant. And that is how you solve a limiting reactant. Thank you for watching.